Looking forward to have real, unfiltered, heartfelt conversations about what it means to be a Christian in the 21st century? Welcome to Unveiled. Here, we answer burning questions, address misconceptions, and uncover truths hidden in plain sight. Now, let's get into the episode. Hi.
Hi, hello everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unveiled by IPS. I am Lolare, and with me today is.
Ife John in the house. This time, good to be back.
Ooh, blows the trumpet. Welcome back. I think last time you were here, it wasn't me that was with you, so I don't think both of us have hosted together before.
Yeah, it was myself and Tabitha D.
That was a nice episode. That was the episode on discipleship, which, by the way, we referenced in the last episode. So if you have not listened to this episode, please go back. But that's by the way. How are you, John? How has your week been?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Interesting times, but God is faithful. Hope you're doing okay yourself.
I'm doing my best. I'm alive. We thank God for that.
Thank God for
So
life.
yeah, and today's episode, I really, how do I say, I really think it was much needed because we're talking about embracing stillness in a noisy world, and in different ways. I feel like in different ways we live in a very, 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 very noisy world right now. Just a lot of things happening at the same time, and it's interesting to experience, and I think it would be interesting to talk about it. So, what does living in a noisy world mean to you?
I think it's that kind of noise where so put it in our local context, is that kind of noise where there's that kind of life where there's generator noise all around you.
Oh my days. Oh my days.
Yes, it's like the example that just came to mind now because everybody has their generator on, and then if it's not waking you up from sleep, is delaying your sleep, that kind of thing. But apart from that, there's like the physical noise. There's like the noise that you hear, so to speak, from social media and all of that. And then there's this
Mm.
noise too sometimes that comes from inside your head that is saying all sorts
Mm.
of things. Yeah, so there's different kind of noises out there really. So like you said, it's very important that we talk about this topic because it's something that is relevant to all of us. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Everything you said, I completely agree. I even like the different aspects that you brought it with. And truth is, we live in a fast-paced world. Something's fighting for attention
Yeah.
every moment of the day, especially now that we have screens, we have social
Yeah.
media, we have AI. There's so much going on at the same time, and it's a lot. I heard that sigh. I heard that sigh of, don't worry, I feel you. It's all right.
Yeah. You never know
Um,
you never can tell what you see when next you're logging into social media. But that is whether it's a child
oh my
dancing,
goodness.
dancing, or an adult saying all sorts of stuff. It's just crazy.
And it's the way our parents fall for it all the time. I constantly find myself telling my parents, that is AI. That thing you are watching. Because in
Right.
what world is this real? But it's everywhere. And it's getting to the point where even I have difficulty sometimes. Some of the AI is really like advanced and you
Yeah,
can't
it's
really
really
tell.
realistic.
Yeah, they're really realistic. You can't really tell when you're watching it. And that's scary times because, well, and honestly, there was a time that life felt like quieter, If you want to know what was happening, you didn't just open your phone or open your laptop or, you know, open some app. You had to turn on the TV. Like, and you
Yeah.
had to, if you had that box TV, you had to wait for the TV to load first.
Took a lot of effort. While it was loading, you got the chance to think, do I really want to watch this?
Do you understand? Sometimes, if the internet is not working, then you'll now have to go hit it like, pa, they adjust the antenna so that it will show very well.
It's called the
And
cold
then,
starts.
oh my goodness. Or you would listen to the radio, or you would have to go and buy an actual newspaper and take your time out
Yeah.
and read what's going on. You only knew like your neighbor's business if somebody else came and told you by themselves. Unlike now that every Tom, Dick, and Harry, like we know the inside of people's houses, their bedrooms.
Right.
Like,
And a lot of the knowledge most sometimes is against your will. Like you're really
oh
not
my,
interested,
there are
but
literally people on the internet that everything I have found out about them, I learned against my will. Like I didn't want to know it. Why am I knowing
right.
it? And I know so much. Like it's like on the norms, I'm not supposed to know this much about you. This is something that inner circle friends are supposed to have knowledge
Right.
about.
Why are you
But
oversharing?
my dear, but the thing is that okay, because of the fact that social media literally lives in our pockets via our phones, and news is just one click
Everywhere.
away. We have all sorts of things. We have WhatsApp status, we have Instagram stories, we have Snapchat. Is it stories or snaps? What they call it? We have Facebook. Facebook also has a status. I don't know what they call it. They have so many things. Everybody is just broadcasting their lives in real time,
Mm.
and so because of that, it's very easy to be overstimulated. It's very easy to find yourself dealing with like a lack of focus, shorter attention spans, anxiety, endless comparison. Like there's just so much that has happened because of the fact that we are so constantly exposed to information all the time that
Yeah.
a lot of it just feels as if it is really counterproductive. Like this was supposed to benefit us, but it's not really benefiting us. We are just constantly plugged in, and it's like we're not taking out the time to unplug, and it's doing more harm than good. And to give like an example now, so like imagine a cartoon character is cycling on the same spots.
Mm.
Let's say I'm going to give imagery: Tom and Jerry. Let's say Tom cycling on the same spot, and in the beginning he's excited, full of energy, he keeps going and going, but over time his speed will reduce, his
Yeah.
strength will fade. Eventually both him and the bicycle that he's cycling, both of them will collapse. And another example I would give is, let me use my laptop because I've been having issues with my laptop recently, and honestly I don't really know, but I would like to say that maybe it was due to overuse. I was always using my laptop because my laptop is basically my office. If you're a remote worker, you're always on your laptop 24/7. I have like different Chrome accounts, different tabs open on each one of them.
You're
And
one
then
of those
decided,
people.
no, but you see, you need all those tabs to function. I don't know, you need those tabs to function. Funny enough, I hate
But
seeing tabs.
do you
Okay,
really need them? You
no,
see,
no, wait.
it was until my phone cleared away my inactive tabs and it left me with like 14 active tabs that I regularly visit. So when it cleared it away in the inactive tabs, it was like 80 something or 90 something, and then in the active tabs it was 14. And I can't remember the last time I went to check the inactive tabs, it was out of curiosity, like what's going on here. So, so do you actually really need all those tabs? And if you ask me, I'll say that's part of the noise.
I mean,
But
you might have a point, but then I don't want to agree with you for laptop. I can agree with you for phone. Because ever since inactive tabs feature came in, now I only have like two or three active tabs at once, and it's actually very peaceful. But
hmm,
for my laptop, like, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But,
okay,
but basically, my laptops are there, like having problems, crashing, and it's just goes to say that there's nothing that was built to just keep on moving continuously without pausing, without taking breaks.
yeah,
So sometimes when we keep on moving, we think we're making progress, but we're just like that character that is stuck in the same spot cycling. You're not making progress. You're just having motion without direction, and then you now face inevitable wear and tear. And what does this look like for us in this noisy world, in this time of in technology and social media? Is just jumping from Instagram to Twitter to YouTube to TikTok to different things. We're saying, oh, I want to be informed, I want to be relevant. Someone like me that loves to I love to watch commentary videos on YouTube. I love to watch documentary and TED talks like on YouTube. I can be saying, oh, I just want to be informed, and then you just keep on keep on doing it. And so many things are being deposited into your mind, shaping your thoughts, influencing your emotions, you know, and then ultimately they affect our actions because when we want to make decisions, we are relying on the things that we have learned, whether
Yeah.
consciously or subconsciously. And you know, it just contributes to a noisy mind. I think I remember recently somebody was saying that why is it that we need to have activity all the time? Why is it why is it that you cannot just sit in stillness or in silence? If I want to work, I have to turn on music. If I want to go for a walk, I will have to put on a podcast. If I want to eat, I have to like search up a movie to watch. You know, even when I'm talking with people, even when I'm on the call sometimes with people, I'm scrolling on Twitter.
In fact, people used to talk about how sometimes, like some might be watching a movie and using social media at the same time.
Oh
There's
yes.
that too. So
Oh yes.
I used to think they were exaggerating until I saw it myself not too long ago. So so there's just that need to, like you said,
Mm.
for people who are just constantly stimulating their minds, and it's sad because it's part of that noise that just keeps coming and then stops you from actually being still, being silent a little.
You're so right. And I want to say something about that, watching a movie and then scrolling on TikTok because I've been hearing about that theory for a while and it's called the double screen theory or something like that.
Mm.
And I know that we cannot really dive into it, but the main idea about it is that content that we watch, even movies, the way dialogue is written, the way series are being written, especially on mainstream platforms, are in such a way that can make you before. And even now, there are still movies like that, but they're not as common. But before, it was common that if you want to watch a movie, you have to actually sit down, pay attention to it, because if not, you could miss like important aspects of the
Yeah.
dialogue of the scenery. But now it is written in such a way that you can actually afford to be scrolling on Instagram and you're not actually missing anything. So it's like they are dumbing it down for us. And this again is just one of the reasons, many reasons why I do think that, the noise is not just becoming so much, it's actually becoming adapted to our unique problems. I don't know how to explain that. But yeah. Mm,
Okay, and I think I'll just say here that stillness is not just sitting down in your room and locking yourself up, right?
yeah.
Is what you do while you are in that silence that actually matters what's going on. Because if all you do is to just sit down and lock yourself, maybe you just put your phone down. If you are not actually practicing stillness, all your mind will be on is when next are you going to pick up your phone
Mm,
and go back to your usual routine. So still being still is not just being quiet. Being still before God now, I believe it starts from like the posture of your heart. What is the posture of your heart towards God while you are in that, while you're trying to be still? So are you waiting on God? Okay, so because the purpose of being still in this our noisy world is to um, be strengthened to continue with our daily activities, to
mm,
not be worn out. I think that's like one, or should I say a major reason why we need to retreat sometimes. Okay, so about the Bible was saying in Isaiah 40 verse 31, people that wait on the Lord, that they are going to renew their strength, they will mount up with wings as eagles, they will run and not be weary, the work are not faint. So there's been a lot of exposition surrounding this verse. But I just want to say that this verse tells us what to do or how to be still. So, like I said earlier, it's not just about keeping quiet. It's about whether in that time are you waiting on God, like are you hearing what He might have to say to you. This reminds me of the story of Elijah when Elijah had gone through a lot and he just wanted to kill himself. I feel like there. I feel like right now in Nigeria, there are a lot of Christians, even. let's talk about people that supposedly like have that hope, that things are gonna get better. There are many people that I'm sure have thought to themselves that, oh, I just wish I could end things. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there are many people like that. So,
Yeah.
me saying this is not casting aspersions on their faith, because you get what your eye go see.
So true.
You will wish to close them and never open them again. So,
Mm.
and we saw an example was Elijah in the Bible, and we see that God did not God did not shame him for that. God, you know, retreated him, and something Elijah did while he was waiting was to, it was in that period of waiting when the wind passed, or there was a heavy wind that passed, there was a fire, but he waited patiently until he heard this still small voice from God, and then he got direction. So it's in the waiting really that we get the strength to move on with our daily life, get the direction to do what we are supposed to do. So, in our waiting, or the purpose of waiting, or of being still, rather, should be waiting on God, because
Mm.
God is our source. God is our light. He's the one who shines the light on our path. He's the one who directs our path. Okay, so that's why our hearts must be set back to Him. Our periods of stillness must be times to recalibrate our hearts to Him. If there's been a lot of noise, because there's this cartoon or graphic comic that used to be really popular when I was still very young. I'm still young though. I'm not old though, but like when I was relatively younger, it's Michael Waters. That was like the name of the cartoonist that used to draw this cartoons then. And I remember there's this comic strip he did, and it was like a lamb, no, a sheep or a lamb. So he had these earphones over his ear, and then there was a radio blasting loud beside him, and he was thinking to himself, I'm wondering why I cannot hear the shepherd calling. But he had all of this noise around his ears. He had blocked his ears with headphones. So that picture is it's like a lot of us in recent times. We have all of this noise. We have all of these distractions around us. So it takes removing those things, and fixing our hearts again on what God has to say in that season that we are, you know, because it's
Mm.
what we receive from there. That's where we get the strength to move on to the next thing that we're supposed to do.
Mm.
So it's important that we, in our waiting period, in periods of stillness, we recalibrate our minds, we recalibrate our eyes to fix it on on God and what God is doing. So,
Mm.
like I said earlier, stillness is not just the absence of noise, it's a posture, it's a posture of
Mm.
calm, it's a posture of surrender, it's a posture of attentiveness towards God. It's quietness, but it's not just external quietness, but internal quietness. It's choosing peace over pressure and clarity over chaos. Like I said earlier, in scripture, stillness is often where God meets us. It's where we can
Yeah.
reflect, where we can hear His voice. It's in the stillness that we are reminded that we cannot do life alone. Okay, so this is why stillness is not optional, it is necessary. In Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15, it was saying that in returning and rest you shall be saved, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Yeah, so
Mm.
strength comes from stillness. Okay, Isaiah 26, 3 to 4 is also saying that you will keep in
Keep in
perfect peace
perfect peace.
all who trust in you, whose thoughts are
Are
fixed
fixed on you.
on you.
Mm.
Okay, so it's not just about being quiet. The peace is not in being quiet externally. The peace is in fixing our minds on God. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that. Perhaps we should next talk about how we can, like practical ways we can um, go about stillness in our noisy world?
I mean, well, the most practical way I would say is in Jesus's example.
Mm,
In Mark 1 verse 35, rather, it says that early in the morning, before the noise of the day began, Jesus would go to a solitary place and pray. And we saw that so many times in the Gospels, so that so many times he had a deliberate habit. So I think first of all, it started with a mindset of intentionality. Stillness is not something
mm,
that you can just do like, oh, I'm just gonna be still today. You have to actually carve out time, especially because so many things are fighting for your attention on a daily basis. And so much of them is tied to our regular routine. So much of it is tied to work. So much of it is tied to schooling, whatever it is that you might be doing. Some people, their work is even social media. So you
yeah,
have to be confronted with it every day. You have to be very, very intentional, I would say, about, carving out time for that prayer, for that moment of silence. For sometimes it's just sitting in his presence. It's not about performing because some people are trying to be super Christians, and when they're like, okay, I'm having my devotion, I'm having my quiet time, and they just spend the
mm,
entire time just sitting down, like they are just speaking in tongues. Like they're not actually taking out time to be quiet, to read the word, to meditate, to just sing, or should just sit down. We, honestly, I think anybody listening to this, try it for like 10 minutes. Sit down. Don't sing, don't say anything. Just sit down for 10 minutes. Not listening to anything, not saying or doing anything, and see how restless you will be. That's the point that we have found ourselves. And there's a need for us to learn how to just simply sit and be still. It's a deliberate act of surrender.
mm,
And like you said, we have to see God as a source. So we have to see Him as in control. I think one of the reasons why we're not able to be still is that we feel like if we're being still, we're missing out on something. We're missing out on
yeah,
information. When we are not making progress, and that kind of it's kind of birthed by a faulty mindset that we are in control of our lives and we are our own sources. We are the ones that, can determine so many things. Yes, there are things that we will still need to do, but ultimately, God is our source and God is the person that is in control. So if we put that in mind, then we're able to spend time with the person that is in control because it's the person that can now teach you how to live your life. It's the person that can
yeah,
give you the strength to go through whatever seasons. And he's the one that can help you navigate this noisy world. You cannot navigate it on your own. It is what will help you know that, oh, God is sufficient. We are not self-made. You are not self-made. We are dependent on Him, and we need to do things that show that we are dependent on Him. It's not just by mouth. We actually have to depend on Him. So really, in a world that glorifies busyness, productivity, stillness, all of that, they are not bad, but when it is glorified, it becomes bad. It is countercultural to the life that we are supposed to live as
yeah,
Christians. So we are called as Christians to pause, to rest, to trust that God's timing is the best timing for our lives. That's one of the reasons that God created the Sabbath day. Even God, on the seventh day after creating, He rested. So why don't you want to rest? Why don't you want to sleep? And I was speaking to myself because sometimes I ask myself, why do I need to sleep? If I'm not going to sleep, if I'm not asleep, I have more hours to do what I need to do. But it has not gotten me anywhere, really. So,
right,
you know, it's not a sign of weakness that you want to be still. In fact, it is when you have strength, but you can bring that strength under submission
yeah,
that we cannot say that this person is someone that has learned to be still. It's not being passive or being lazy. It is you taking out time. That's why I mentioned intentionality. You taking out time to sit with God. You are forcing your mind to be fixed on God. Like the verse you mentioned, God keeps in perfect peace whose minds are fixed on Him. Maybe the reason why your mind is always in a knot is because you are fixed on everything else but God. Your gaze is fixed on everything else but God. But in stillness, you find peace. You gain clarity, that clarity that you have been looking for. And you begin to understand God's will more deeply. So, if we want to move from just saying that we love God, we know God, to actually hearing and experiencing Him, we have to learn to cultivate stillness. And that's why we're here. We're just having this conversation. It's something that we need to remind ourselves, not just you listening to us, but even
Yeah.
we as hosts. We have to
Yes,
remind
sir.
ourselves because it's so easy to get lost in the noise of the world. Like I said, these things are so part of our routine. Sometimes you can just be doing it on autopilot, you don't realize. But stillness is so important, and we have to be very, very intentional about being still in a noisy world. Wow. I enjoyed this conversation. It was really,
And
I really held myself back from going into like scientific theories. I held my, please give me my
it
flowers.
is flowers successfully given. Check your
Thank you very
DM. You
much.
see some emojis there.
Thank you. Stop it.
So it's a super relatable topic, and we really do all need to fix up before there's a moment you can get to where the noise gets so loud and then you can't hear anything.
Mm,
You can't hear even God, which is supposed to be our source of strength. So it's a very relatable topic. It's a very important topic that we all need to pay attention to. So, and I'm glad to have really been a part of this conversation.
I'm glad too. And for all of you who had listened to us thus far, we're glad to have you here. We're coming to the end of this episode, and as always, we want to hear your thoughts, your comments, and if you would prefer to be anonymous, you could also leave us an email. We always air every second and fourth Saturdays of every month, and we love you. Okay?
Yes.
We love you. We do love you. We do love you. We do want you to have more fulfilling lives
Yeah.
in Christ as He wants us to have. And so, this is the end of today's episode.
Sadly. Because talk is plenty, but oh well, next
But
time.
next time. So, this is
Yeah.
me signing out. Bye. And John, will you say bye too?
Yeah. Bye bye. Till we
Bye.
meet again.
This episode was brought to you by the In Plain Sight team. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, follow for more like this. In the meantime, you can head on to our website inplainsights.org. That's INPLAINSIGHTS.org and check out a couple of goodies from our devotional library. Till next time, God bless.